From Recorded Future News and PRX, this is Click Here. I sense an accent. Where are you from?
Southern Virginia. How y'all doing?
Thanks for doing that for me. That's awesome. From Recorded Future News, this is Click Here's Mic Drop, a longer listen to one of our favorite interviews of the week. I'm Dina Temple-Raston. And today, a chat with Kelly Shaw, one of the more than 100 employees at the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency who received an email on Valentine's Day that they didn't see coming.
Sure enough, the very first thing I saw was a subject line about your termination. I was let go on that Friday night at 7:28 p.m., and now I am scrambling to find a job for the first time in 15 years.
A cybersecurity agency meant to safeguard America's critical networks is suddenly bleeding staff. We take a closer look at the administration's buzzsaw approach to cutting government and whether it's making us all a lot more vulnerable. Stay with us. Click Here is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company has affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations. I'm Dina Temple-Raston, and this is Click Here's Mic Drop. CISA, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, is part of the Department of Homeland Security. It's a name you don't hear very often unless something's gone very, very wrong. The agency was created in 2018, and originally it was supposed to defend government networks. Then it expanded and began helping private companies and state governments, entire cities, even foreign partners. And Kelly Shaw ran a program that had become indispensable, something called Cyber Sentry. And so would you have been, without telling me anything secret, would you have been seeing Volt Typhoon go into places it shouldn't be going, or Salt Typhoon? Volt Typhoon and Salt Typhoon. They're hacking groups linked to China's Ministry of State Security.
Yeah, so that is the goal, to catch our advanced persistent threats, as well as insiders and that kind of thing. But we really are going after the advanced persistent threat. So CISA has a plethora of tools to allow a threat hunter to look for the bad guy on these critical infrastructure networks. So most certainly Volt Typhoon, Salt Typhoon, any of the other names, that's what we looked for.
So pretty important.
I think so. I think so. Definitely. And the way CISA is set up, the importance is not that we are looking at one individual, organization. The idea is for us to have insight across critical infrastructure and be able to pull that information back, create threat intelligence, and share it to the community.
Kelly Shaw had spent 15 years working for the federal government. She started with the Navy as a civilian and then moved to the Office of Naval Intelligence. And she always liked the work and always envisioned a career in government service.
As a government employee, you take a little bit less in benefits and salary to be able to serve your country, as well as to have a little bit of a cushion there with longevity.
She figured that government jobs were more secure, and people like her, who focus on intelligence and national security, were always in high demand. So after 12 years of working for the Department of Defense, she began contemplating a move to a different agency within the federal government.
I was looking for a promotion, to move up, in the ranks. And so I thought, CISA looked really great. I had a colleague that had previously moved over to CISA, and I applied.
Kelly was a natural for the job. She had multiple advanced degrees.
Recent master's degree in cybersecurity from James Madison, a master's in electrical engineering from Virginia Tech, and a bachelor's from Virginia Tech in electrical engineering.
She had certifications for pen testing, malware analysis.
I think I have a deep background in cybersecurity and related activities.
By all accounts, she was exactly the kind of expert CISA wanted to attract. And she figured this job was stable because Cybersecurity is an official DHS program.
It's a program of record, which means, a budget and that kind of thing.
But her position came through DHS's Cybersecurity Talent Management System, a program meant to recruit top-tier talent with something close to private sector salaries. The catch was that the jobs had a long probationary period, 3 years, which made anyone in a CTMS job particularly vulnerable to layoffs.
So I made it for the first 2 years. When I hit that, in December, I went, shoo. I thought, wow, I'm almost there. I got a little bit longer, but surely nothing's going to happen.
And then came Valentine's Day.
We had gone out to eat. I came back to the house and kind of just took it easy, went to bed, had a great, probably my last good night's sleep of the year so far, and woke up and figured it's Saturday. Let me very quickly just scan my work email to see if there are any hot topics that might need to be handled. Sure enough, the very first thing I saw was a subject line about your termination.
We'll be right back. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Therapy should feel accessible, not like a luxury. With online therapy from BetterHelp, you get quality care at a price that makes sense. And it's convenient. You can join a session with a click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, you can switch therapists at any time. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. Your well-being is worth it. Visit betterhelp.com/click here to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/click here.
Hi, I'm Morgan Sung, host of Close All Tabs from KQED, where every week we reveal how the online world collides with everyday life.
You don't know what's true or not because you don't know if AI was involved in it.
So my first reaction was, haha, this is so funny. And my next reaction was, wait a minute, I'm a journalist. Is this real?
And I think we will see a Twitch streamer president maybe within our lifetimes.
You can find Close All Tabs wherever you listen to podcasts.
Between layoffs and the Office of Personnel Management's Deferred Resignation Program, about 10% of CISA's 3,200-person workforce is now gone. And while DHS says it remains committed to cybersecurity, without these people like Kelly, how much harder does that become? This all seems a little arbitrary and capricious. And does it feel that way to you?
That's exactly how I worded it in my appeal. Arbitrary and capricious. Yes, it does. I'm leading the show. I've gotten great performance reviews, and other accolades. I'm still kind of at a loss of words for how that happened.
Do you worry that it makes the country more vulnerable?
Now, this is a two-part answer. Yes, okay. I do. And the more that we tear away from the great work being done at CISA and reduce employee count there, yes. And the reason I say that is, like I said before, these people at CISA are some of the smartest people I have ever worked with. I came over from O&I, Office of Naval Intelligence, as a senior intelligence analyst. So I came over, kind of with a big head, like, hey, I'm from the IC, I'm here to help. I had those master's degrees, a lot of experience with operational technology and weapon systems. Get over to CISA, and I don't think I was ever the smartest person in the room, probably the least smart. These people are smart. They know their stuff. And so, but we needed more people. That was the whole thing with DHS creating CISA as the agency, and the whole cyber talent management system was to bring on these experts and bring them on so we can attack the problem. And so the mere fact that we're rolling that back puts us back a year or two. I'm concerned if we cut half of those people, say for example, just how other organizations are being asked to cut half, I think would be devastating to our capability.
So what are you doing now? How's the job hunt going?
It's hard. I've gotten, just like everybody else, I've already gotten rejections, sometimes within a day or two. But I'll keep trying. That's what I do all day.
And what kind of jobs are you looking for?
With my background, I'm looking for something more on the leadership side, the more senior leadership side of things. Program lead, project lead, within cybersecurity. To me, what really interests me the most is that intersection of artificial intelligence with threat intelligence and overall holistic view of the risk posture of an entire system of systems, which would mean I want to know at a glance what the threats are to an entire wastewater system versus how we do it now, we industry. We're in a reactive state. We're waiting for the bad things to happen. I'm thinking, how can we use AI to be a little bit more predictive? It's something we may not reach for a long time, but that's what really interests me.
And would you return to federal government ever?
Yes, I say that if conditions were a little bit more stable, yes. The main reason is I'm a little bit under 5 years away from my 20 years. So that's a number I'm aiming for. And so I would like to retire from the government. But, if I have to wait 4 years for someone sane to be in place in the administration, then that's going to really be a problem because I don't want to extend that if I don't have to. So yeah, I would, but I understand that it's a big risk. It's a big risk for me right now, to be honest. If it got me another month or two, yeah, of course, I have to pay bills.
In March, just weeks after Kathy Shaw's Valentine's Day email, Rob Joyce, the former director of cybersecurity at the NSA, testified before Congress. And he was supposed to focus on cyber threats from China. But instead, he sounded the alarm on these mass firings.
I want to raise my grave concerns that the aggressive threats to cut U.S. government probationary employees will have a devastating impact on the cybersecurity and our national security.
And he specifically pointed to the firing of people like Kelly, those probationary employees.
Eliminating probationary employees will destroy a pipeline of top talent essential for hunting and eradicating PRC threats. Even if the positions are not eliminated, the pervasive uncertainty and doubt in the current environment is forcing them to seek and secure opportunities outside national security.
Kelly Shaw's last official email from CISA told her that her access to headquarters was revoked and that her work accounts would be turned off in a few days. DHS, it continued, would send her a mailing label so she could return all her work equipment, things like her phone and her badge. But so far, she still hasn't mailed those items back.
It's in a box upstairs now because they never sent the mailing label.
Maybe someone at DHS will finally send that mailing label. Or maybe it's just another thing that got lost in the cuts. From Recorded Future News, this has been Click Here's Mic Drop. It was written and produced by Erica Gaida, Megan Dietrich, Sean Powers, and me, Dina Temple-Reston. It was edited by Karen Duffin. We'll be back on Tuesday with an all-new episode of Click Here. Have a great weekend.
Looking for more of the cybersecurity and intelligence coverage you get on Click Here? Then check out our sister publication, The Record, from Recorded Future News. You'll get breaking cyber news from reporters in New York, Washington, London, and Kyiv, among others. And you'll see for yourself why it attracts hundreds of thousands of page views every month. Just go to therecord.media.